The May 25th, 2017 City Council meeting is now called to order. Tonight, our prayer and pledge will be led by the student from the House of Tots Creative School, led by Schoolmaster Shirley Powell. Please rise.
And we are the children of the futures. Will you please bow your head for the Lord's Prayer? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and we forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Amen.
Wow. We'll do the pledge together. He will lead. What are you supposed to say?
Will you place your right hand over your heart for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Powell. Thank you so much. What a great way to start a meeting. Tonight, our employee recognition, we're recognizing the EMS building specialist, fire department. The fire department's EMS building specialists are being recognized for their outstanding performance processing ambulance bills and claims for the City of Longview's ambulance service. These specialists hold a vast array of knowledge and expertise in the processing and collections of over $3 million in general fund revenue annually, stemming from over 12,000 calls for service. They deal with large volume of customer service calls, claims processing, attorney correspondence, and other duties on a daily basis, and show extraordinary performance in their ability to navigate through today's evolving and complicated insurance rules and laws. They deal with over 300 different insurance agencies, including Medicare, Medicaid, and commercial insurance companies. We are proud to recognize the following outstanding employees in the fire department's ambulance billing: Leah Richardson, Erica Castelou, Brianna Johnson, and Shanna Keisner. This is really a privilege to be up here with you guys, especially you. Amber used to work with us. They do such a fantastic job of doing what really no one likes doing, that's building and collecting. And so it's a tough job, but what that shows you is how busy our EMS service really is. 12,000 some odd calls, that's a lot of calls and a lot of money going through here. But we appreciate what you do, your dedication, your time you spend with us, and how well you treat the public. Because, you know, it's never comfortable having to collect money and do things with people, especially when it comes to ambulance service and EMS service. So you do a great job. You do it with compassion and care, and the city really, really appreciates you, and so the citizens of Longview. So thank you all so very much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you. Chief, come on. Let's get a picture. Thank you all once again. We have a presentation, a proclamation commemorating Emergency Medical Services Week. Section Chief Amy Dodgen. Come on up, Amy. I like it. Okay, proclamation regarding Emergency Medical Services Week, May 21st to 27, 2017. Whereas the Longview Fire Department has requested that the mayor by proclamation recognize May 21st to 27th as Emergency Medical Services Week in the city of Longview. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service system and the members provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This year's theme is EMS Strong, always in service. And I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. So now, therefore, I, Andy Mack, the authority vested in me by Mayor City of Longview, proclaim May 21st to 27th as Emergency Medical Services Week in Longview. And this goes right along with our billing. Guys, y'all, I mean, this is what it's about. Y'all provide a service that we can't do without. You do it with care, with kindness, with honesty, with integrity, and you're always there when we need you. So thank you all so much for your service to the community. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you all. And a minute ago, I called Erica Amber and whatever, just so whatever her name was. She's, yeah, awesome. Public safety update, Chief Bishop.
Mayor Mack, council members, Mr. Willard, good evening. Last Tuesday night, the Centurion Club hosted our annual awards banquet and memorial service. I want to take an opportunity to thank you all for attending that. It was an event that was well attended. And I'd also like to take a minute again to recognize our award winners from that night. Damon Weaver, who works in our IT division, was our Civilian of the Year. Telecommunications Operator of the Year was April Bettis. Telecommunications Supervisor of the Year was Deborah Raven. LPD Rookie of the Year was Rachel Fox Mumford. Our Supervisor of the Year was Sergeant Kelly Humphrey. Our Detective of the Year was Detective Kirby Deloach. And our Officer of the Year was Alan Whitlock. And just want to take the time again to recognize them publicly and thank them all for the fine job that they did this past year to get nominated by their peers and selected by their peers for these awards that we hand out annually. So congratulations to them, and want to thank everybody that attended to help make this event a great success. We have our Explorer Post is going to be hosting a summer camp for those that are interested in police exploring. It'll be held June 19th through the 21st at Pine Tree Junior High. It'll be 4 full days, hands-on police-style training and classroom education. Lunch will be provided. We do charge a $25 course cost for this. For more information, they can contact the police department. We ask that the participants be at least 14 years old and have completed the 8th grade to participate in this. So if we have any of our youth out there that are interested in our exploring program, this will be a good opportunity to come out and see what it's all about, and hopefully we'll gain some new members to our Explorer Post for that. So that's all I have for tonight. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, thank you.
Chief Stillman's not here tonight, so we will not have a fire update. We're to consent agenda. Any items county commissioners, council members would like pulled off for separate discussion?
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. For the action items, consider a resolution approving the change of ATMOS Energy Corporation for their rates under the rate review mechanism of 2017. Mr. Finley.
In March of this year, ATMOS submitted its 5th and final application under the rate review mechanism for a system-wide increase of $57.4 million, which equates to about a little over 8% increase. Following negotiations with ATMOS, the coalition of cities has reached a settlement of $48 million increase, which equates to an increase of about 7%. For a customer class, for residential, that would be about a $2.04 increase, commercial $6.27. Based on a recommendation of the ATM group and a special counsel, we ask that this settlement be approved.
Mr. Finley, what was those rates again, business versus residential?
Residential was $2.04.
Okay,
Commercial was $6.27.
perfect. Any questions of Mr. Finley? We do have Mr. Larry Ball in the audience for questions with ATMOS Energy, if there are any questions from council.
I've got some.
Mr. Wright?
Is that per cubic feet or per million feet or what?
I think it's by the cubic feet, how they measure it by the cubic amount that you use.
Okay, so
defer to
does
him.
that mean that the average bill is going to go up $6.04 for commercial customers?
For residential, $2.04.
Okay,
A month.
but $6 for,
Commercial, yes, a month.
but is that overall or is that just per 1,000 feet or per what?
I think they're calculating that per month, I believe.
Okay.
Mr. Wright?
Yeah, I just had a few things I wanted to say about ATMOS. You know, over the last couple of years, inflation's been running about 2% or so. Last year, ATMOS got an increase of about 5.5%. This year, I guess it'll be about 7%. Since 2013, ATMOS's net income has gone up from $243 million to $350 million. Their top 10 or their top 5 executives make over $10 million a year total. Do you think they're going to note this increase on their gas bill? Do you think they're going to worry about it very much? I bet we've got some constituents that will. I don't think there's any excuse for this increase. I know we don't really have any choice in it, but I don't think that there's any real need for it.
Anyone else? And Mr. Finley, we do appreciate you all going to bat as you did. I mean, once again, we don't have much choice in this. We have to have energy, but you all reduce it from 8% to 7%. And, you know, it's a small victory, but it's still a victory. And we appreciate the time and effort put in by the committee to do this.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. We'll now consider an ordinance repealing Chapter 64 of the Longview City Code and enacting a new Chapter 81 to said code in order to make city ordinances relating to city-owned and city-operated recreational facilities consistent with current conditions and practices. Mr. Caron.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, Mr. Willard. The Parks and Recreation Department was reorganized about 2 years ago, and so during my time here, we've been reviewing the ordinances to make sure that they reflect our current operations and also to update the language as far as who is the director, because it previously was Community Services Director. And so we also wanted to take a look at, make sure that we are following state statutes and all those kind of things were aligned. And so met with City Attorney. And we've decided to, rather than just update Chapter 64, repeal the whole section and create a new Section 81, because if you want to see all the red marks that I have in all the places that it would have been a little bit of a burden to go through. And so essentially it's what we're doing is just updating it to our current practices. There are some issues and items in there that were disallowed that we actually were allowing to occur within our parks, such as metal detecting, having sound equipment, all those kind of things were outlawed in our previous ordinance. And all we're doing now is allowing that, but by permit. And some of those permits will be at no charge, but some of them we do want to get a fee for, depending on the impact to the other users within the parks. And so the other one that I list on here is additional rules adopted for facilities, and we have rules at our pools such as no running and those kind of things. And so we wanted to make mention in our ordinances that just because there is something not in our ordinance doesn't mean that we have a facility that doesn't have rules. Those rules apply to those users specifically. And so we make mention of that, whereas the previous ordinance didn't say something like that. So we would have on occasion somebody will say, well, it doesn't say in the ordinance you can't run in the pool. And so we wanted to clarify that we do have rules that don't need to be codified as ordinance, but are there for safety and everything. So anyway, the Park Board unanimously approved the update, and so we recommend approval.
Mr. Caron, I appreciate you all going through and, as you said, instead of trying to redo 64, just making a new one to make it clearer and more concise with what we wanted to say. And I've read through it, and I think y'all done a very good job of doing that, because we need to have, obviously, rules and regulations for our parks so that people know what they can and can't do. So I appreciate the time and effort put in by your department for doing this, and the Parks Board as well. Any questions, Mr. Caron? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Before we go on, I went over citizen comment because I had no speaker cards. Does anybody like to speak on citizen comment and fill out a card later? Very well, thank you. Sorry for that omission, but we are now to items of community interest. Mr. Moore.
Isaiah says in chapter 6, verse 8, "And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? And I said, Here I am, send me." Please remember on this Memorial Day weekend those that answered that call and made the ultimate sacrifice to protect all the freedoms we enjoy sitting in this room today. And I might add, it's also an excellent opportunity to maybe make a donation to Veterans Plaza out there. So anyway, thank you. I am the council liaison to the Historical Commission, and on Saturday, June 24th at 10 a.m. at the community, at the Development Services Building, there'll be a workshop on historical markers sponsored by our own P&Z department and the Gregg County Historical Commission. And it'll cover such items as how one goes about getting a historical marker, the type of research that might be involved, and the cost in the process. So anyone interested in that, please attend. It's free. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Ms. Snoddy.
Good evening, everyone. Just a reminder, tomorrow between the hours of 12 and 2, we'll end another school year. So just wanted to remind everybody to watch out for the kiddos because summer is on its way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Ms. Williams.
Good evening. I concur with Councilmember Moore about Memorial Day, and I hope everyone has a very fantastic Memorial Day weekend. And also, I want to commend staff. We've been, myself and Councilwoman Ishihara, have served as liaisons through the comprehensive plan process, and I look at my phone sometimes and I'm like, oh my goodness, another meeting, oh my God, but we're making progress. So, you guys, thank you. Our work is not done, and we know that, but I really appreciate your diligence in getting things done, so thank you.
Ms. Ishihara.
Nothing for me.
Mr. Wright.
Nothing this week, sir.
Mr. Pirtle. Mr. Willard. Okay. Well, learn to swim. Summer enrollment is now open. You can register online or call the Longview Parks Department at 903-237-1270. Splash Day is June 3rd. The pools are open from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come out and play at Longview Swim Center or Ingram Pool for only $1. And what a great thing. We have some really good pools in Longview. We should take advantage of that. If you have the opportunity to take your kids out and teach them to swim, let them swim and enjoy activities like that, because it's a great way to go and do things that are structured. We need structure, so that's good. City also will be closed Monday, May 29th in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. We will have normal trash and recycling collection next week, because once again, those guys don't take holidays. They're always out there doing our job, and I really, really think we should remember that, citizens. While we're all sitting home enjoying the holiday, those guys are out picking up our refuge, so we appreciate you guys. We really do. Veterans Plaza at Teague Park, please help honor America's veterans. It's so easy to donate. Go to vetplaza.org and donate. As Mr. Moore said, we're still looking for those donations, and I want to just take a minute to thank the group that stepped up to help restore the vandalized monument, the vandalized statue at Teague Park, to get that thing back to where it needs to be, and it really is nice to see people stepping up in our community. Once again, that's the go-giver attitude that we share in this community, and I really appreciate that group that did that. Upcoming events. There are several upcoming events throughout the Longview community. Arts View Children's Theater to perform Mockingbird, June 1st to the 3rd. The Big Pines Blues Festival is June 2nd and 3rd at Maud Cobb. You're not going to want to miss that. Longview World of Wonders, explore the world of hot air balloons Saturday, June 3rd from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And what a fun time that is. So get yourselves out there and do that. If you want more information on these events, check out the calendar at visitLongviewTexas.com to learn more. Our survey interesting, we had the survey with Mr. Caron having his little thing tonight that worked out pretty good. Okay, Lear Park has brought a good amount, and I kind of messed this up because Sean helped me with this, and I kind of messed it up. But I'll tell you about it in a minute. Lear Park has brought a good amount of tourism dollars and sales tax revenues in our city. How many teams would you guess played at Lear Park last year in tournaments? Well, that really should have said Lear Park and Hensley and all of them, but Lear Park gets the lion's share, so you got the gist of it. Our answers: 756, 986, 1145, and 1396. Well, 15% said 756. Wrong. 29% said 986. Wrong. 35%, our biggest percentage, says 1145. Wrong. 21%, 1396. We had 1,396 teams come to Longview and play in tournaments last year. Let me explain to you kind of what that means. That equated to 47 tournaments in our community last year. If you took those on, I know more than one happens a weekend, but that's almost one a weekend. So that's a really good number that we're striving for, because we want to do this where we are providing tourism dollars into our community every weekend if we can. Did you know 570 of those 1,396 teams came from more than 60 miles away? More than 60 miles away. That's a big number. If you take 1,396 teams and multiply it by roughly 15 kids on a team, which is probably an average, you're going to get roughly 21,000 participants that came to Longview. Then you take the parents that come with them at roughly 3.5 average people that come per kid, another 5,000 people. We had 26,000 people visit our parks this year and spend money with our community. So, those dollars do count and they do help. So I encourage Scott, and I appreciate y'all's your zeal for getting this where it needs to be and continuing to upgrade it every year. So thank you for the time and effort y'all put into this. It's a big deal for our city. Okay, for fun, with many of our schools getting out for the summer, left me thinking about my days as a kid looking forward to summer break. When you were a kid, what did you most look forward to each summer? This was pretty fun. Okay, going to camp, 7% said going to camp. Playing with neighborhood kids from sunup to sundown, 49%. That's the winner. Hanging out at the lake, 12%. Family vacations, 20%. Not having to worry about homework, 12%. Boy, was it fun. Sunup to sundown. When daylight savings time hit when I was a kid, it stayed dark daylight till about 8:30. That was just a heyday. You didn't have to worry about a thing. And, when I think about it, our parents had no idea where we were. There was no cell phone. You didn't check in. You just showed back up at dark. But you showed back up at dark. And if you didn't show back up at dark, you weren't going to get to go out the next day and do it again. So, things have really changed. It's a crazy world we live in, isn't it? Okay. We are going to go into executive session. Just a quick note for those of y'all that may not know, my brothers and I, we lost our mom yesterday. Thank you. We're adjourned.